Watching my housemate die inside. This happened in my second year of university in the UK circa 1998. 6 of us shared a house with an even split of boys and girls. John was my best mate and was very shy and had no confidence with girls. He got on really well with the girls we lived with, Sarah in particular. When we moved in, Sarah had a boyfriend who thankfully after a few months she broke up as he was a d***. After this, Sarah and John grew closer and she would quite often sit and cuddle with him while watching TV, dance with him when we were out, and generally spent a lot of time with him. John was clueless about women and thought they were just besties, but it was clear to everyone that they were into each other. The important point to this story is John was still a virgin. Our other male housemate, Steve, was the opposite of John. He was a player. He had a girlfriend from school who was a few hours away at another university, so he'd regularly sleep with anyone that would have him. He also had a crush on Sarah and tried it on with her a few times and got rejected. Steve used to take the mickey out of John for being a virgin. This different terminology is so funny.
Take the mickey out on him.
Steve used to take the mickey out of John for being a virgin.
So
I think he's clearly making fun of John for being a virgin.
Sure. That's universal in every language.
A note from our producer, take the mickey out is apparently similar to taking the piss out of.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
At first, it was every so often, and then when John and Sarah were getting closer, he started to call him Virgin Boy in an attempt to belittle him. The rest of us told him to knock it off, but he persisted for a few weeks. Not long after, we'd got back from Christmas break, a few of us were in the living room after university, and Steve walked in and asked me and Virgin Boy if we'd like to order pizza for dinner. Sarah walked in from the kitchen and at that point walked over to John, sat on his knee, kissed him, looked over at Steve and said, "You can't call him that anymore. We had a great time this morning and he made me several times. I doubt you've ever managed that with your tiny The rest of us
said that?
Sarah said that. The rest of us sat there trying to stifle laughter. Steve went bright red, mumbled something and went to his room. Turned out Sarah had made a move on John that morning. They both admitted to being into each other and had slept together. Sarah snapped when she heard Virgin Boy and decided she'd had enough of Steve.
Wow.
John and Sarah are still together, married with 3 kids.
Shut up!
Damn.
Wait, can you read what she said to him again?
She said...
And say it like her.
Yeah.
Okay. So she walks out after, because Steve tries to...
She's gonna take the mickey out on him.
Yeah, Steve tries to take the mickey out of John here, calls him Virgin Boy. Sarah walks out and she goes, "You can't call him that anymore. We had a great time this morning and he made me several times. I doubt you've ever managed that with your tiny cock."
Oh my God, that really went so hard.
That's devastating. Dude, I mean, after that, John has to marry her.
Oh, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
Move on?
Do you think he made her come multiple times with his first time having sex?
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course.
I don't know. I just think I think it's like, what else? I think she really, really liked him. At the very least, regardless of what actually happened, I think she was just like, I'm willing to go to bat for this dude.
No, I love that so much.
It's fucking awesome.
That's great.
Joke's on you, I made a move on him this morning.
Which is also kind of devastating, because that's crazy. Like, he was into Sarah, and for Sarah to be like, I'm into him. I made the move.
No,
that hurts a lot.
He deserved that. Like, he was being insecure and he was like, "Oh, I can't get with this girl who I've been rejecting, or who has rejected me. Let me make fun of somebody who she is clearly into." And then he deserved all the revenge.
Well, mind you, Steve has a girlfriend at another university, so he's just cheating on her all the time.
Steve!
They said that. They said at the beginning, Steve was the opposite of John. He was a player. He had a girlfriend from school who was a few hours away at another university, so he'd regularly sleep with anyone that would have him. And he had a crush on Sarah and tried it on with her a few times and got rejected.
Oh.
So he's just a huge piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. No, trash.
Trash.
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Good, he deserved that.
That's like a movie level, and I mean, John didn't get revenge, but Sarah got revenge for him.
Oh, but John got revenge.
Oh my
John
God.
got revenge.
John got revenge by just being a good guy.
If I was John and she said that, I'd be like, yeah!
Yeah, you heard what she said.
And then Sarah would be like, never mind.
Oh.
Like, 3 times.
I take back my orgasms.
Shit.
It didn't happen.
That never happened.
I take those back.
Oh my
Damn.
gosh, that's wild.
That's awesome.
That's fucking sick.
Wow.
Some comments. I was so scared that Steve would steal Sarah from John and make fun of him afterwards.
Yeah.
Glad I was wrong, and Sarah sounds like an awesome mate. Lucky for them to have found each other and such a wholesome ending. Someone said, John, in this case. Someone said,
John did nothing to you.
John got
but he got
He got
multiple times.
Someone said, the pettiest revenge is a life well lived. Damn, that's even, unless Steve changed his ways and became a better person, he's probably, to then see like, oh, and then he's married and like happy, 3 kids.
Yeah.
Like really, damn.
Yeah.
I hope Steve reaches out with an update on his own life.
Sarah's actually the hero of this.
We know Sarah's great.
I love Sarah. I don't love body shaming, but it was funny.
Oh yeah, she did say he is a tiny. She didn't necessarily.
She did say he had a tiny.
She didn't need that part.
But it was like an icing on the cake. It was
That's
just like
not
a
the. I can tell you as a dude, that's not the part that bothered Steve. That's not the part at all.
Okay.
Like, I don't think so. It also sounds like she rejected him. I don't think they ever actually.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think what hurt her, what hurt him was just like, holy shit, like John.
Yeah.
Like the girl that I have a crush on approached him, had sex with him, and like,
publicly
and
told
is also now like standing up for him here,
Exactly.
like really cares about
Yeah.
him, like on a level beyond just sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which dudes will never say that matters to them.
Yeah.
But it does.
Oh.
I
He
think,
made
like
me
that
3
hurts.
times.
Like deep down, like that's deep down in his core where he doesn't even realize it hurts him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
His heart hurts.
Like he hurts that like Sarah chose John.
That there's like real care there.
Wow.
But he's not going to get that because he's being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right. But hopefully this is the moment when he
Yeah.
wakes
Hopefully
up.
his girlfriend.
Imagine-
Someone needs to tell his girlfriend that he's cheating
Yeah.
on her.
Imagine.
yeah, I hope she
Imagine
knows
being
now.
the other roommates, being like, roommate meeting. We got to clean the kitchen more.
Yeah, right. There was a 4th roommate just eating
Yeah.
cereal at that table. Like, damn.
Like.
This is great. Today I f***ed up by thinking my son was having gay sex when he was just eating hummus.
To be fair.
To be fair, so
Very
I've never had
similar.
gay sex, but I've had hummus. So I, a 39-year-old woman, have a son who's 15, and he brought a friend round today. They immediately went to their room, and I assumed they would just play some video games or whatever, so I was totally fine leaving them. It was about 30 minutes in when I was walking past, I heard sounds such as, oh my God, that's so good, and it's so good with that in it, and various sounds.
Let's see how chill
There's
the mom
no
was.
other way to eat hummus. It really sounded like they were having gay sex. I was super weirded out by it.
It's
so
just sex.
So I quickly went downstairs and waited for his friend to leave. When this friend left an hour or two later, I asked my son what they were doing in his room. Because although I don't mind him being gay, and I think it's and I know it's normal for teenagers to have sex, a condom really should have been used, so I plan to confront him about that. However, the answer shocked me to my very core. They weren't having sex, they were eating hummus. I was shocked and initially didn't believe it. We had never had hummus before, and I asked him to
Does this overlap with the girl that doesn't eat spicy food?
We had never had hummus before, and I asked him to show me the hummus if this was true.
Show me.
Show me the hummus! So he did, and I ate hummus for the first time, and oh my God, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good?
No. So he did, and I ate hummus for the first time, and oh my God, was it good.
What?
Where does it rank compared to gay
We
sex?
we experimented with different things in it, like bread and carrots, and it was great. Apparently, his friend had heard about how he had never had hummus before and thought this was so absurd, so had planned a date for a hummus party. So yeah, it ended up being quite a good ending. I discovered how nice hummus was. Thought my friend was having gay sex. He just really liked hummus.
What if they had hummus and then
I got
So guys, I want to remind you that this is also Best of Redditor
Oh
updates.
boy, here we go.
So I don't know what's going on.
Can I point? I wonder if so she thought they're having gay sex, and then the friend
just say sex?
No, it was gay sex. So the friend walked out of the room, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, how are you? And he's like, oh, I'm stuffed. All right.
Things people say after sex. Whoa. Oh, man.
I am so sexed. Comments were, oh, I see you got hit by the emergency hummus.
No, hummus.
Were you guys having sex? Duh! I always kept open hummus inside my closet for when I was having sex with my friends. You never know when you might get caught. Lady for real just fell for the old hummus trick.
See the oldest trick in the book.
Okay, here's the update.
Okay.
Oh,
boy,
God.
Here we go.
It was a
Here
tumor.
we go.
So yeah, the majority of you were right. They were having sex.
Yes, let's go.
Good for him.
No, not sex. Let's say it all together.
Hummus.
I did think it sounded like it. They ate some hummus first, then put it away, didn't do anything at the same time like some of you freaks suggested, and then had sex. My son's boyfriend, I think they're boyfriends, saw the post and couldn't stop laughing. So told my son, thinking it could be about them, who told me because I think he felt a bit guilty about hiding it. Other than that, nothing really exciting happened. We had a long, awkward talk. I told him I don't really endorse him having sex, but he should really use a condom, etc. Now, on to the more important thing. Hummus. I really like hummus now. I'd never had it before because it just looked kind of disgusting, yellow and sludgy. But I have learned appearances can be deceiving. It was homemade, so I'm going to have to ask for the recipe so I can make some more. I've finished all of it. Also, what are some other good things to dip in it? I've tried the obvious things, carrot, cucumber breads, and any suggestions would be appreciated. A lot of people have recommended baba ganoush as well. Is that similar and better than hummus?
God.
I love baba ganoush, and I've made it myself. You throw some eggplants in your oven.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Baba ganoush.
I just have to say, it's a little strange that she's more accepting of hummus than her son having sex.
No, she was chill. She was chill.
with it. She just
was
said, like,
okay
please use a
with it.
condom. He's 15. I think it's more just like,
Yeah.
oh, like, please, like, you know,
Damn.
you're young, like, don't.
Yeah.
TLDR, my son is actually gay, but I also really like hummus.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that.
That is the.
Who among us?
I see. This is how you should react when you find a new food you've never had before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever covered up something you were doing with a blatant lie or anything like that? Did your parents ever catch you or almost catch you doing anything?
I don't think I was ever caught. I was not intimate with many people when I was young.
Yeah, problem is
but my bed was far too squeaky to get into anything anyway.
Yeah.
So it was the bed and it was the squeaky
It was
bed.
the bed. That's why I didn't have sex.
I
forever.
can safely say that throughout my teenage years, I had zero hummus.
But my boys.
Boys, today I f***ed up by throwing my steak out a window. Unless this was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Last night, my wife's boss from her brand new job invited us over for dinner. On the drive over, my wife reiterated to me many times just how important it was to make a good impression. I scoffed and arrogantly informed my silly wife that I will always make good impressions. My wife's boss is a single lady in her 50s, so it was just the three of us. We chit-chatted over drinks and salads and seemed to be really hitting it off. She laughed at my well-timed, perfectly appropriate jokes, and my wife seemed pleased. Soon, she brought out the main course, a nice big juicy steak for each of us. As I began to cut into my steak, I was discouraged to discover how undercooked this steak was. Now, I've had my fair share of rare steak. I prefer medium, but I can handle rare. This was several minutes on a hot grill short of rare. I probably could have resuscitated the cow had I tried. Instead, I sat there fidgeting with my knife and fork, worrying about how I was going to get away with not eating this steak. Claim veganism? No, I'd already feigned great enthusiasm upon seeing the steak. Just then, our hostess excused herself to the kitchen to take care of some dessert preparations. As I looked across the fancy dining room table at the open window of this third-story apartment, a cartoon light bulb appeared over my head. I knew I had to be decisive, realizing that she could return at any moment. I committed. I grabbed the steak with my hand, gently shook off the juice, and executed a perfect throw right through the center of the open window. Here's the big-time f***up. The window wasn't open.
Her windows are just not clean.
It was the cleanest freaking window you've ever seen in your life. That is until my mostly raw slab of steak slammed up against it and slowly slid down, leaving a trail of bloody juice in its wake. My wife, whose steak was a nice medium rare and was unaware of my predicament, turned, jaw dropped, and stared at me like I was an alien from another planet. This look then slowly morphed into more of a "there is no place on this planet you can ever hide from me" expression of demonic anger. My wife's boss heard the thud of the steak on window impact and came quickly. She took in the scene, the steak sitting on the windowsill, the bloody trail, my empty plate, and then gave me an inquisitive, puzzled look. I just didn't know what to say. It felt like minutes of silence, but it was probably 3 or 4 seconds. Finally, the best I could manage was, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. I don't know. I was just cutting it and it slipped. Just ask my wife. I realize I am a klutz. Right, honey? No help coming from that direction. I will clean this up. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry, etc., etc. Both women continued to stare at me like I had escaped from the loony bin as I smeared the blood around the window with my cloth napkin, dusted off the steak, and continued to mutter my incoherent explanation. I knew no one was buying the story. I knew what I had to do. I sheepishly returned to my seat and proceeded to eat every bite of that disgusting, cold, chewy, bloody raw steak. I remained pretty quiet the rest of the evening. My wife's only 2 words to me since the incident are, "I'm fine."
No, she's not fine.
No
Okay.
one in the world could be fine.
Is this a prank? Is every Reddit stories an episode of Everyone Loves Raymond?
I was about to say, this is a Seinfeld
This
episode.
is what?
I mean, look, there's always the possibility that they're fake. Always. But
It's not. It's just so funny.
He ate the window steak?
he ate the window steak.
And then just like a silly mad wife, she went, "I'm fine."
Is this guy Peter Griffin?
Yeah.
Comments, you should have grilled the steak under the pretense that you were killing off any germs it might have picked up on the floor. So OP responded, damn it, that's a good idea. Someone else said, all you had to do was ask if she could cook it for a little longer. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But hey, look on the bright side, you'll have a funny story to tell all your friends for years to come. Lastly, someone said, sir, you need to update your version of Windows.
How many likes does that comment have?
I don't know. What would you do in this situation?
Not throw my steak out a window.
I would never throw the steak.
I think I would piss my pants if I saw someone chuck a steak when the cook left the room. I think I would laugh so hard I'd die.
It was poor planning because if she came back and his entire steak was fully gone,
He's like,
what a delightful steak.
it's like, that's also
You
insane.
ate that so fast,
the
man.
instinct to grab it and frisbee it out of there is wild.
I went into the story thinking he was going to throw it out of a car.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too.
so too.
I thought he was driving and he was like, "This is bad."
And then it would like hit someone. Bonk.
Oh my gosh, what would you guys do? That is crazy.
I'd eat the steak. But I also like medium rare, so I could probably handle. If a steak was super rare, I'd just be like, all right.
I feel like I'm a master at cutting around, moving around, and making it look like I made a dent, but I didn't.
Yeah, don't eat much of it.
I don't really care about steak. I think it's good. I'm not. There's people who eat steak and they're like,
They're like, for your birthday, we're gonna bring you to a steak dinner.
right. So I probably wouldn't have gotten into that situation. I'd be like, I actually don't want a steak.
Oh, you wouldn't have even asked for it on the plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I would have been like, I can't eat this. This is
Yeah.
gross. Please cook.
Have you ever been in a situation where people served you food that you don't like?
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
really good at like moving it around and putting some on the fork. And I think the idea of like trying to get rid of it is so
That's
scary.
insane. No, that's some Mr. Bean shit.
Yeah, like just to see that person come in and see you getting rid of it.
Actually, I think this is a Mr. Bean's. There is a
That
skit
is.
where he gets a bunch of like raw meat that he won't eat, and so he's hiding it throughout the whole place. And then they slowly discover it, and every time they discover like a new piece of meat, like in a napkin and stuff, he's just like, it's fucking hilarious.
This is so funny.
There's a Seinfeld episode where there's like a steak thing and he like puts it in napkins because he doesn't want to eat it and he just has them like in a jacket and then Elaine borrows the jacket and the meat's still in there and dogs are chasing her.
Dogs are chasing. Yes, and the tag is her going down the street, right?
yeah.
And all these dogs are chasing her.
Wow, classic.
I think this is so freaking
Don't
funny.
try to hide your meat.
I'm gonna start throwing my meat at windows.
Small little update. Just got the first communication from my wife since I'm fine. She is at work. The text said, Good news, boss's name, and I just had a good laugh over how much of a f***ing idiot you are. I hope you know you will never live this down. Love you, you moron. Aw.
That's good.
I want a
Cute.
divorce. I'm just kidding.
Update. We're divorced.
Update.
I
we're
forgot that
divorced.
this woman was the boss.
Is a
Yeah.
boss.
I would be mortified if I was his wife.
Yeah.
Cooking steak for guests, it's a tough thing
an ordeal.
to do. That's a bold move.
Honestly, good for him. He just bonded those two people now,
Yeah, it's true.
the wife and the boss.
They have a common enemy.
Yeah.
His brain. It's a 34-year-old man. My wife, who's 32, has been cutting the strings off my pajama pants, and she won't admit to it. Not sure why. What a strange crime.
Huh?
She wants my pants to fall off.
You really said a lighter note.
Some background. We have been married for 10 years. This behavior is pretty recent. The situation really isn't that bad, but I was hoping someone could have an explanation. I've asked her about this and she denies it, but we don't have kids or anyone else in the house, so it can only be her. In the last year or so, I've been discovering the tie strings from my pajama pants have been disappearing. Again, we don't have kids and I'm the only one who actually has to leave the house to go to work, so she's alone in the house a lot. Her pants still have all their strings, but none of mine do.
What is this?
I have bought more pants to replace the ones with missing strings, but those eventually go missing too.
What?
We have a good relationship, and I don't know why she denies it when I ask about it. It's really not that big of a deal, so I don't really press the issue. It's just really bizarre. She is a bit of a prankster, and so am I. But I don't know what the point of the prank is, if this is indeed some sort of practical joke. Does anyone else have any experience with this sort of thing? What the hell is going on?
I'm low-key crying.
Sometimes, I do notice sometimes the strings of like your hoodies or pants
They get lost in the wash.
They can get lost in the wash.
Who's also your delivery, Shane? We are kind of pranksters, but I can't figure it out.
We are pranksters.
I wish
Somehow the strings. I have a string theory, but not the usual kind.
This is crazy.
This is nuts. Hers are fine. She still has her strings.
Oh, she has all her strings.
What the hell is this woman's deal?
And she's like, maybe it's like the guy who tells his girlfriend that she smells bad all the time.
What if one night he hears like rustling from the closet and he opens and she's eating spaghetti, but it's not spaghetti. It's all the strings. It's all the strings from all the pajamas.
She's like, I was picturing like a little monster covered in pajama strings going.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't my wife. It was the string monster.
I wonder, what if they had a pet?
He doesn't clarify if they don't have pets.
Because what if he leaves his pants on the floor all the time and the kitty or the dog get it?
Oh, cats would totally get that shit. Okay, there's comments, and they provide some info. I'm wondering why OOP immediately came to the conclusion that it's his wife stealing the strings. OP responds, because we play pranks on each other, and this is the type of prank she would do. She'd do the long con, too. So I wouldn't put it past her to do something like this and keep it going for a year.
I'm dying. This woman is great.
Someone else said, why is your first instincts to distrust your wife? OP responded, it wouldn't be the first time she had pranked me in this sort of way and denied it for months until I finally believed her.
What?
Just to say gotcha and admit to it. I honestly thought it was one of those again. Someone else said, I don't have a wife and all my hoodies/drawstring pants lose their strings in the laundry anyway, so that's something to consider.
Yeah, like what if they do their own laundry for their own clothes and she's really careful about her strings and his go away?
We have multiple updates.
Oh, thank God.
So, predictions now. What are you placing your bets on?
I think it's prank.
Yeah, I think she's just.
You think she's pranking him?
Weak game.
I don't think she's pranking him. I think they're getting lost some other way.
But why aren't hers getting lost?
Like.
I don't know. I think this is his fault.
Is this a Dr. Seuss book? What? Like, what is this? Okay.
A thing, I've lost my string.
Okay.
So I just got home and checked inside the waistbands of all my pajama pants. I only have 5 of them, so it didn't take long. No strings in them, so they definitely didn't retract. I need to get some sleep, so I'll check the washer drum and filter when I wake up. What is it?
This guy's got to go to
This
work.
feels like a horror game. This feels like Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like, okay, I'm checking the closet. Okay, I'm checking the laundry. Okay, it's all. Okay, I'm checking. And all of a sudden, someone jumps out and steals the strings.
Yeah, I feel like Jim Carrey would play this person. Like this feels like a Bruce Almighty bit. You know what I mean?
Checking.
Yeah.
Where are the strings?
But where
are the strings.
Okay, okay.
Update number 2.
Oh boy.
Someone in the comments suggested maybe my cat had been taking them out and hiding them since cats tend to have hiding spots.
There's cat.
One of the spots is under the couch. I just checked and I found one there. It's just one, but it's a start. I'm gonna check his other spots too. Okay, you need to throw a cat in the mix.
Tell us about the cat.
If the story is about strings and there is a cat. The cat is involved. The cat is involved.
String plus cat equals cat.
Yes.
That's it, and that's math.
And that's cat math.
Update number 3. Okay, so when my wife woke up, I told her about finding a string in our cat's hiding spot. She was amused and wanted to help me look at his other spots for them too. Well, none of his other known spots had them, but she noticed something weird about the back of our other couch. It had a small hole in the bottom of it. I shined a flashlight in the hole and found a whole bunch of random stuff in there. We took the cushion off this section of the couch and cut a hole next to the spring, and voila, we found his true secret stash. All my strings were there. Not only that, but we found pretty much all of my wife's missing smaller squishmallows and her missing AirPods. We even found
AirPods!
We even found a missing pendant and the body of Jimmy Hoffa. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop.
We even found a missing pendant that we've been trying to find for years. I'm going to buy her a box of chocolate. It was the cat.
Wow.
And the strings weren't like
We called it.
the cat. The missing strings were like the least valuable thing.
Dude, this cat was setting up a battle station.
I would piss my pants if I saw a cat holding AirPods in its mouth.
Holy shit.
I'm like, gotta put this in my little hole.
Time to go. Sometimes I wish they had a stash, you know, because it seems so fun to like find the stash and have all this stuff
it's like
there.
their little locker.
Yeah, it's a little locker.
Pendants? What a cute fucking cat.
This guy's been busy. This cat has been so busy.
I knew it. I was like, it's only his pants because he probably like wherever he puts them is accessible to the cat.
You called it.
I like that I know what this cat's expression is as they're pulling all this shit out. You know that cat's over there just like,
oh. Or he's like this.
He's like, don't put me on that plane.
They're cutting a bigger hole.
what country are we moving to?
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That cat was building a Titanic treasure pile in there.
Yeah, give this cat a general with Pixar because, whew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That cat was able to steal all their stuff and nearly end their marriage. That's pretty impressive. No, I'm just
a pendant.
A pendant. They went, like in Titanic.
So.
Okay.
But here we go.
The heroes.
My best friend of 24 years, born a male, is now a transgender woman. I'm in love with her and not sure if I should tell her. My friend and I, both 24 years old, have been best friends our entire lives. We're practically brothers. Our parents grew up together, went to the same schools, so my friend and I were together ever since we were little babies. We've always had each other's back, protected one another, cared for each other when the whole world felt like it was against us. But the both of us knew we were always looking out for each other. My friend is an amazing person, someone I can go to and trust completely. I'm blessed to have this person in my life. My friend transitioned to female a few months ago, 100% completely physically a woman. She's been through hormone replacement therapy these past few years. Seeing her become so much happier is amazing to see. I'm absolutely proud of her. It's beautiful to see my friend now be so free, being comfortable with herself and always having the greatest smile on her face. But I'm falling for her, and these feelings aren't going away. I'll admit that I'm in love with my friend. The friend I've known for 24 years is who is stealing my heart, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose my friend, but my feelings of friendship for her are turning to romantic/sexual feelings and attraction. After my friend transitioned, we continued hanging out and talking like nothing changed. We continued going out to clubs/bars, the movies, restaurants, playing video games. Nothing changed. We kept doing what we always did. During this time is when my feelings began to change. I started falling in love with her. You know what attracted me? Her, the way she is. My friend is now acting like herself, acting free and full of life, always laughing, dancing, and being goofy. It hurts me because this is someone I grew up with, and I'm afraid my feelings are going to push her away or make this awkward. Like always, I'm insanely happy being with my friend, but my feelings for her are killing me right now every time we're together again. I've fallen in love with her true self. Her true self is absolutely beautiful. I've spoken to another close friend of mine about this. I just got made fun of. haha, you want to fuck your bro? Seriously? Is practically what I got.
Ugh.
They didn't understand where I was coming from. They didn't understand what an insanely amazing person my friend is. This friend of mine feels it's creepy and nasty that I'm falling for my best friend. They also aren't taking my friend's transition seriously, which is another reason why they're acting immature. All he did was make fun of me, so ever since then, I haven't spoken to anyone else about how I feel. Also, aside from being scared of losing my friend, I'm afraid of what our families will think. What happens if my friend and I do end up together, and our families suddenly start to panic? I'm afraid of not only ruining my friendship, but the friendship our parents have with themselves for many years. Both of our families were completely supportive when my friend transitioned, not a single negative comment. Everyone is proud of her, and the love our families have for her hasn't changed at all. I feel I'm overthinking all of this, especially because being friends is very different from being in a serious relationship. If anything, our families would be insanely happy we're together and be so annoying. Ha 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 ha. How it's written.
Is that how you laugh, Shane?
But I'm more worried about the negative response, which is why I believe I'm overthinking this whole thing. Plus, if I plan to even confess my feelings for her, I have to do it soon. She's always been being asked out on dates, but she tells me she's looking for the right person to spend time with. I feel this is my opportunity to confess, but I don't know if I should. I don't just want to confess how I feel about her, I want an actual relationship with my friend. If any of you have some advice, please definitely share it, because I have no clue what to do. I'll love to tell my friend how I feel about her, but I don't want to lose or ruin our 24-year friendship. I also don't want to make it seem that I'm falling for her just because she's now a woman. I don't want her to feel that way at all. What do you all think I should do? I'll absolutely appreciate the advice/input. I'll greatly appreciate it so much.
Wow.
That's so sweet.
You know what it makes me think of? I give the advice a lot on this show when people are like really young, like 20 to 23, and they're in a relationship and they don't really like it or whatever. I'm always like, just leave, because I feel like people don't know who they are until like it's different for everyone. But like I feel like your 20s, you're like figuring out who you are or letting your true self come out. And I think that's for obvious reasons here. Like that's what's happening is like. You're young, you're still figuring out who you are, and then, now that you're becoming who you are, you're like, I love this person. Now that they are fully like their 100% self, you're falling for them, regardless of gender or sex or anything.
Yeah.
Like that can happen.
Yeah, wow.
I think this is probably common.
Yeah.
Common amongst people.
I feel like we've heard a lot of stories on this show where, or like there's a lot of stories online where it's like a woman or femme-presenting person has a guy friend who has been lying about their feelings and intentions the whole time, where it's like, I thought we were friends, like this sucks. But that's also why I feel like as these feelings have grown, I think it is good to be honest, because if he doesn't tell her, then he's being dishonest. And like, obviously feelings can come and go, but like he's known this person his whole life, and like he sees her and he really truly feels like he loves her. Like I think it would be really great to say something, because obviously the fact that their families were supportive of his friend for transitioning, they just want that person to be happy. And like, I don't like, it's common for you to be like, what's everyone else gonna think? They're gonna be worried if we break up. But it's like, you can't let those external things affect it, especially since his friends were clearly being transphobic and just all around toxic about it and being weird about it. It's like, their feelings don't matter anyway.
Yeah. And I think it's a valid fear to think, now they might think that now that I perceive them as a woman, like that's the only reason.
Right.
But I've seen many people who transition, that was one step in becoming their truer selves, not just externally or with their gender, but, it's how they realize who they really are and they start expressing themselves. Like it was even mentioned, like they're always laughing and dancing now. For some reason, that really stood out to me. It's like they're comfortable in their body and expressing themselves even through dancing. And I feel like that can be just such an attractive trait to see someone coming into themselves as their true identity.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why I said earlier, like, you become a new person as you get older, as you figure out who you are. And it's in many ways like, and it sounds like he's saying like, I'm in love with who she's become.
Yeah.
Like, who's this now that I get to see who she really is deep down, I love that. And I think that's very valid. And I think it's really cool that he's concerned about that.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Very
want her to think
empathetic.
that it's just because of that. Like,
Yeah. I mean, without knowing more, I agree with you, Courtney. I feel like he should tell her, and there's so much history between them. You think that maybe there'd be some extra layers of understanding, and maybe even like, hey, if it doesn't go back, both ways, I still want to be friends with you. You know?
Yeah.
yeah, and I think there's a way that conversation can happen where it's like, hey, I'm feeling all these feelings, but I'm scared to tell you this because our friendship means so much. I don't want to lose that
I
too.
think that vulnerability would
It's
be.
like, okay, I think
Yeah. I also think like I can't help but read into the little things that he's saying that she's saying, where she's getting asked out on dates and
I
she's like,
know.
I'm waiting for the right person. And like being in her position, she might be assuming like, oh, he wouldn't want to date me because he just views me as the person that he grew up with.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't assume that. And so like maybe things might be a little more positive in the end, you know?
Yeah. There's a strong chance that she's thinking the same thing.
I hope so. I'm such a hopeless romantic and stuff. I definitely hope so.
update.
Let's go.
Screw it. I'm going for it.
Yes.
I'm going to ask out my friend. It's Saturday, 1 p.m. right now. I'm going to see if she wants to go on a date tonight.
Oh wait, just ask out. Not even talk about feelings. Just ask
ask
out. Okay.
I actually kind of respect that
Okay.
because it's a little smaller than saying like I'm in love with you.
That's
like,
true.
all this stuff. It's
That's
just like,
really
let's go on a date.
True.
First off, wow, thank you for giving me the motivation. Reading your comments has made me realize I shouldn't waste time. I need to go for it or I'm going to regret it. My plan is to take her out on a fun date and I'll confess my feelings during the date. I might even show her this post as I literally poured all my feelings into this post. She's like, you're a Redditor?
I liked you until that.
She actually lives a few houses down the street. We live in the same neighborhood/street.
Wow.
That's why we're pretty much always together 24/7 every week. I'm going to message her to see if she's home so I can stop by. And while I'm there, I'm going to ask her out. Wish me luck.
Oh, I like how the post is right before walking out the door.
I know, that's
I'm
really
walking over there right now. I have my desktop. I'm carrying it.
My feet are in front of the door. I'm standing in the doormat.
And also, like, learning now, like, how much they spend time together. She has figured out who she is, and the fact that, like, a lot has changed for her, but the one thing that hasn't changed is she's still choosing to be around him all the time.
Yeah.
She's still choosing him.
Yeah.
So I'm optimistic.
Update number 2.
Let's go.
I got a date tonight. I was insanely nervous walking to my friend's house, but I can't stop smiling because, wow, I actually got a yes from my friend. One issue I had was where the date was going to be. I had no idea, but I remembered she loves this 80s bar/grill that has karaoke every night and tacos. So that's where we're going. So tonight is going to be tacos, drinks, 80s music, and karaoke. Sounds like an awesome date. I told her pretty relaxed, I didn't rush into it, showed up, started talking like usual, and that's when I asked her. Told her I would love to take her out on a date tonight, that I've been wanting to ask her out for the longest time.
Oh.
I definitely tried to hide my face from blushing, but she had a huge smile when I asked her out. She's even extra excited because we're going to her favorite place. I feel asking her out has made her comfortable to flirt with me. She started complimenting me and even kissed me on the cheek before I left. She definitely felt more intimate, if that makes sense. She even said she's going to get extra pretty for the date tonight. I'll admit, I'm really looking forward to that, although it's impossible for her to get extra pretty, seeing as she's already gotten pretty.
Can't help but compliment her in the Reddit post.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's pretty freaking pretty. I'm still shaking, honestly, LOL. The shakes are more shakes of excitement. I'm going to pick her up in 2 to 3 hours, so I'll definitely be getting ready soon. I haven't gone on a date in quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to tonight, especially with the date being the girl I really love. I'm still nervous, but I'll pass eventually.
Wow.
It'll pass eventually.
Wow.
That's where it ends.
I literally have never wanted to piss on the floor out of joy. I'm so excited for them.
Why am I emotional? I'm like,
It's very sweet.
our babies.
Yes.
Well, it's straight up like a movie, like that's
Yeah.
like a movie story.
And the poster, the OP is so in tune with their emotions. And I feel like that's really refreshing because a lot of times it's really like, here are the facts. But here they're like, I got butterflies in my tummy. And it's like so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great.
That's awesome.
There's a couple comments. She was literally waiting for him to ask her. LOL, 100%. Someone said, absolutely, just afraid to be herself, but now she can. Amazing for all involved.
Oh.
Yeah, you called it. It does seem like she was also like, yeah, so I'm just waiting for the right guy. Oh, I love that she's excited. Reading this, I was so worried that the growing up like siblings part, irrespective of anyone's gender, would make the friend feel weird in a totally valid way. If for both people, it's really more like we've always known each other, so we have a strong foundation. That's lovely. Good luck to these cuties. And lastly, someone said, if this isn't the most textbook case of loving somebody for who they are, then I don't know what the f*** is. Makes me very happy to read, and I hope it ends up being a lifetime of happiness in the making.
Oh.
That's really great.
That was amazing.
Really great story.
Fantastic.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's so funny. Like, love can be so scary, but for them, it's like, it's so funny. They were friends. They literally grew up together. They know each other so well, but like when feelings like that come into play, it almost like changes everything. You're just like, I don't know. I'm too scared. I don't know. But it's like, you just gotta trust sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, romantic relationship still is like, it's not like friendship leaves it. You know, like all that friendship has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have a great foundation for it. So it's lovely.
Epic.
Very, very cool.
Epic friendship slay.
Yeah, kind of a sleigh. Up by jumping into a lake in my bra/panties to save a man that turned out to be an elite military scuba diver in training. That's awesome.
Sounds like the beginning of a 90s movie.
I was gonna say, it's like the beginning of a
rom-com.
Yeah.
I'm couch surfing with my sister and her boyfriend. I work for him at the lakeside bar trying to pay for college. My state is open, and while I'm not thrilled, I need both the job and my scored sofa accommodations to make it work. This is from 2020, so. To give them their space and myself a break from doom scrolling, I'd take a run by the lake in the mornings. This lake is bomb ass and draws scuba divers to the flooded town at the bottom. Today, I was in my own head running when a dark mass floated to the surface 40 feet away. I was on the craggy side of the lake and this dude looked dead. D-E-A-D, dead. Facing away from me, his head was tipped back, eyes closed, bobbing like a fishing lure. No one else was around, so I thought he was quantum crazy out here scuba diving alone at the crack ass of dawn, giving himself the bends or some nonsense. Like a jackass, I didn't yell at him to check in. Instead, I towed off my shoes and stripped to my skivvies to save the imbecile. The movie trailer in my head had me taking 3 glorious steps and launching into the deep blue water, Black Widow style. Instead, my tender feet hit the sharp rocks and I contorted under the pain like a slinky as I uncoordinatedly pitched myself into the water, doing a side flop. I was also wearing my contacts, so I swam hard in his direction with my eyes closed. When I opened them, he was dead-ass staring at me like I'd lost my ever-loving mind. So I blurted, "Are you okay?" He removed the regulator and incredulously said, "Yes." My brain blue-screened while I tread water. The lake felt infinitely deep. Before I could terrify myself by hearing the Jaws theme song, I turned to nope the hell out of there, yelling over my shoulder, "I thought you needed saving!" to explain my idiocy. As I pivoted, another dude cleared his throat from 30 feet away on the other side. I never heard a sound from him, so I freaked out, failing and belting an ear-wounding scream at him. Both asshats laughed as a few more heads surfaced around us. I was surrounded by divers, all wildly entertained by my ridiculous high-octane f***up. After pointing to me and the beach, the merman thought that was my original target, cautiously swam toward me after I nodded and escorted me to the shore. The beach was much further than I had anticipated, so I was trying to low-key breathe, hiding my need to suck all of the O2 from the air. Also, the comedy of the situation consumed me, and I started to giggle. Finally, I joked, "Dude, you are lucky you weren't actually dying because it would have taken everything I have to drag your sorry ass this far." He chuckled before offering me a tow. Hell no, not gonna happen. Even if I had to dog paddle, I wouldn't openly accept that defeat. He quietly mocked me the rest of the way to the shore. I'm a secret sap for it. They were cadets or recent graduates from military college here for the summer. They've been training in pools and were doing some open water exercises. They had been out there at least part of the night. I'm sure I blew up whatever drill they were running. He's training for pre-dive school, and since I am an expert Googler, I'm guessing that means combat diving. At the shore, I did my best to throw my shoulders back and march out of the water in my sports bra and undies in front of what I can only imagine are some pretty badass men. I did invite him and his clandestine crew for an absurdly overpriced beer at the bar tonight before shame jogging back into the woods for my clothes. Wow. So try to save a person, they ended up surrounded by a bunch of military men. What I love about this person is they really used the thesaurus for this post. They went back and...
They said good writing is describing.
Yeah, they're like, let me use really cute stuff for every single sentence.
Yeah.
Can I say something that might be an unpopular opinion?
Whoa, 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 all right.
That's on them, the guys. Is there any way to be like, this is a test? She was just being a good Samaritan. She saw someone floating like a dead body, and she was like, see something, say something.
Well, she didn't say something. She just immediately...
She swam something.
She just swam something.
No, I respect it though.
I'm like,
No,
do they
it's
have like a
respectable.
light or like, this is a drill?
That's fair. Yeah,
Like, what a scary thing.
that's true.
Is there an update? Did they go to the bar? Did she?
There is an update.
Oh, let's go.
I need Reddit sweaters that say update.
So, first, there's a comment. Such a fun meet cute story. I hope they get to be happy together, sell the movie rights, and make a ton of money. Someone else said, this is hilarious. I can just picture you swimming with your eyes closed towards them. Haha. Don't be too embarrassed. It probably made their morning. What do we think is going to happen? Do we think that this is going to actually end up in them dating? Or is it just like an embarrassing story?
I think they went to the bar and it was chill and whatever.
Yeah.
Probably. He showed, holy shit, a little bit ago. Yes, I was as dorky as you would have imagined, and now I'm typing this from the bathroom like a dumbass again, but I feel like you people are on the ride with me. He's handsome and funny, and he smells great. Yes, I hugged him. I'm Southern. It's what we do, not the smelling, the hugging. He's nice and smart and keeps defending me from my jackass friends at the bar, who have almost called him merman to his face. I think he low-key liked that everyone knew who he was, but not sure how he'll feel about being a Reddit celebrity. I've learned a lot about him, but it wouldn't be fair to share without his permission. His whole crew did not come. Only one, and his bud immediately started flirting with my coworker. That's a good sign, I think. Holy shit, you'd think I'd never met up with a guy before. Also, my friend straight up asked him if he saw my dragonfly undies that look like penises with massive glow-in-the-dark turquoise blue balls. Only she used the Reddit version. Thanks for that nickname, Reddit. He's also been sharing some of the shit that he's been taking today from being saved. He has the same self-deprecating sense of humor as me. I think we are vibing. So that's all the updates for tonight. He's getting the rest of my attention. Keep sending me those good vibes and peace, people. No more updates. No more updates, so I'm guessing she fumbled the bag after that.
Maybe they shared a lovely, beautiful night together, and then he went off to go swim more somewhere else.
Wild.
That's crazy.
She's crazy fun.
She's crazy. She is fun.
She's so funny. She was in the bathroom updating us, so she didn't give us a third update.
She wrote that whole update from the bathroom. Like that's crazy.
Sick. That's great.
That's like.
How would you feel though if you met up with like a similar type of story, just a silly meetup, and then you're at the bar talking to them, and you find out that they were like, oh, in the bathroom I was just updating the Reddit post about meeting you.
Dude, I
wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel.
Yeah.
It depends though. It's a pretty crazy story, so I'd be like, I get it. That's ripe Reddit material.
Yeah, she comes back and she's like, so what kind of diving are you in? I have to tell all these people who are asking. I mean,
I have to tell these thousands of people.
Whoa, that is wild. She's so cool to be like, come have drinks with me. Also, I wasn't trying to save your life. You look dead. And then just like, did you see my underwear? Also, what were dragonflies that look like a penis?
I don't know. A lot of stuff there.
Dude.
New merch just dropped. If you guys saw somebody floating in the water.
I would definitely be like, they're floating. They're floating and their faces above water. I would yell something first.
I would like try to get someone better than me. I'd be like, look, guys.
No, you're by yourself.
Look.
You're by yourself. She was jogging by herself.
If I was by myself, I'd go in.
But I would yell first, and if they didn't respond, then.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I'd wait for a second. I'd watch, and I'd see if they like took them a little bit to move, and then I'd go. Be like, I don't know.
I'm just confused. Didn't she say, maybe I'm misremembering, I thought she said like he was floating, like his face was above water.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so he's breathing, like his face is above water.
Oh, if his face was above water.
He's also floating.
But he's just like.
Didn't she say you had a mask on? So like,
That's why I'm saying it's on him. He should have like a little flag that's like, "Don't worry, I'm alive."
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm alive. That would suck if you actually died and you had that flag on you. Oh God, he looks super dead. No,
You have an
don't
asthma
worry.
attack?
He has the flag.
he got the flag.
Okay, next story. This is an Am I the Asshole post.
Yay, we're home.
Yay.
18-year-old female left my laptop open and my sister, who's 15, replaced everything in my hobbies and passions section on my resume with just garlic bread as a joke. I unknowingly sent it out to about 20 to 30 businesses, and now I have no idea what to do about it. Well, if one of them's Olive Garden.
No way.
Then. Yes, Reddit, I know how hilarious this sounds, and I promise you this is not a joke, as I am genuinely freaking out right now. I am soon finishing up high school, and I'm looking for my very first job for the summer. When I was filling out my resume, I didn't have a lot of experience to mention, so I was advised to do a hobbies and passions section. I stupidly left my laptop out on the kitchen table today while I went to the shop to get some tea, and my gobshite of a sister thought it would be the joke of the century to delete my hobbies and passions section and replace everything with a single bullet point saying garlic bread. Now, I had saved the Word document and closed it before leaving. She opened it, changed it without telling me, saved it, and closed it before I came back. She knows bloody well that I'm looking for jobs at the moment, and she knew I'd spent the afternoon working on my resume. Anyway, I came home with the tea and knew I was happy with my resume. I didn't bother to recheck it. I had no idea someone would change it to garlic bread while I was gone. I used it for multiple job applications from an online hiring site, which had places hiring in my town. I'd say I sent this garlic bread resume to about 20 to 30 institutions in total. It was only after I sent them that I decided to recheck my resume when I noticed the horrific alteration. I am absolutely mortified. I immediately confronted my sister about it, getting a strong sixth sense that she was the most likely culprit, and she thought it was hilarious. She literally laughed until she cried, while I was standing there nearly crying from stress and mortification. My sister has always been a joker, and she always gets away with bloody murder, but this was so serious. I am sick of her pulling off this shite to everyone around her, thinking it's funny or cool or something. It was only when I explained to her the full seriousness of the situation and that I had sent it to 20 to 30 places that she copped on and apologized. Not sure if she was being genuine, but the words "I'm sorry" definitely left her mouth. Then she had the audacity to blame me for it, asking me why I hadn't checked it before sending it off. I screamed at her that I had checked it multiple times before leaving to get tea and didn't expect anyone else to change it while I was gone. She then backpedaled and insisted that she meant it as a joke, with a "just a prank, brah" mentality, but I'm having none of it. I don't know what the hell to do now to rectify the situation. I have never job hunted before. I don't know how serious this stupid mistake is. I live in a large enough Irish town, but small enough for businesses to spread gossip. So I'm terrified that they'll all know not to hire the garlic bread girl. Should I email the places I applied to explaining the situation, or will I sound like a complete knob? Technically, it is true that garlic bread is a passion of mine.
She's reasoning.
Technically, it is true that garlic bread is a passion of mine, simply because it's delicious. But obviously, it is not resume worthy. The businesses probably think I'm taking the piss and being extremely unprofessional. I'm so annoyed that this is my first impression in the working world. I'm not even hired and I f***ed up already. Should I resend them my application with my resume fixed? Should I move on and forget about the places I applied and apply to new businesses with a rectified resume? Should I just f***ing move town at this point since I've clearly made a fool of myself already? Also, how do I talk to my parents or sister about her stupid, spoiled, bratty behavior? That's awesome. That's a pro-level move. That's a way to f*** with your sibling.
Yeah.
I respect it, and I also love that in my head I'm picturing this all with an Irish accent. It makes
I
me
didn't need to hear them say Irish, and I was like, this person.
well, bloody shite. You know,
What was the first one? Gobshite?
gobshite.
Gobshite.
I'm surprised they didn't call it like zingy toast or something.
I know. Figgy
Instead
pudding.
of garlic bread, they call it zingy toast?
Zingy toast.
Zingy toast.
I don't know, they got names for
I
stuff.
love zingy toast, yeah.
I didn't know that they had garlic bread in Ireland. They have that there? I love the it is one of my passions.
Yeah.
No, well,
But also, who doesn't have a passion for garlic bread?
True. In her head, the idea that she would be confronted with it, and she would have to stand her ground and say, no, I do in fact love garlic bread to the point of passion, and then double taking and saying, is that more reasonable, or is me leaving town completely more reasonable? Which one makes more sense?
I think when you're 18, that's how you think. You're like, I gotta just get out.
It honestly is one of the best pranks I've heard of.
I think if she resent the resume, now it's a lot of work, but if she resent it and in her email be like, sorry, the last resume I sent was incomplete. I accidentally sent you an earlier draft. Here's the full.
Like before they even read the first one.
Yeah. Try to get ahead of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I would show up in a garlic bread costume.
That's true.
course.
You could commit.
And that's how you're going to get hired at the
Exactly.
AM/PM.
The AM/PM in
I don't know what
Ireland.
she said.
Welcome to AM/PM.
AM/PM.
Welcome to AM/PM.
That, yeah, I think that's probably the best solution. Just resend it.
Yeah.
It honestly, I don't think anyone cares.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna read that far.
No.
Passionate hobbies.
No. Also, don't put that on your resume.
Passionate hobbies.
Yeah.
No one cares about your passions or hobbies.
So, obviously, it's really funny. How would you react if this happened to you?
Oh, the exact same way. I think gobshite is what I would yell as well.
I get a lot of stress over like work-related stuff, and especially like, I mean, the only thing I have a comparison to is like auditions for stuff. And dude, the stress of that is intense. If someone with my resume or anything about how I come across, I'd freak out because I'm so terrified of coming across the wrong way to people.
Dude, you just freaked me out every time you upload a self-tape or anything, and you're like, did I do the right take? Like the idea that you would even put the wrong one, like, oh, that would kill me. I actually couldn't recover personally for a long time. So while I'm laughing, it would break me for a while.
I'm stuck on why are you applying to 20 places at once?
I don't know what kind of jobs they have in Ireland.
Shut the up.
I love just
trap.
saying
Every time.
bullshit about Ireland. It's funny. No, I want to visit. I hear it's great. I don't know. I'm not allowed there. My family left in the 1800s, and I can't go back.
Yeah.
Some comments here. If you have 100 applicants for a job and someone sends you a resume with garlic bread all over it, it would absolutely get tossed. I might be curious, but not enough to waste my time. Oh, he responded, how about if it was mentioned only once and everything else was okay? Someone else said, your sister was seriously a dick for doing that, but she might have done you a favor. I have a couple of things on my resume that have absolutely no bearing on my field, but get me interviews because they make me seem a little more relatable and interesting. I know this because employers have specifically said it's what made them bring me in. Someone else said, did you apply to any Italian restaurants? OP responded, I did actually. Hopefully I'll hear from them. I can speak a little bit of Italian too. I'm winning here.
Garlic bread. Nope.
Wait, is she like really about garlic bread?
I guess she, maybe the sibling was doing her a favor. Maybe it was like her passion's garlic bread, but she
I know
doesn't
this.
realize.
She never says it, but she makes the bread by hand.
Rebecca, your life passion is garlic bread, but you aren't owning it. She's like, no, I can't.
I mean, garlic bread is great. Personally, if I had to choose garlic bread, Texas toast. I'm a Texas toast guy.
What's that?
It's the same thing in a different shape.
No, it's not. That's not the same at all.
Yeah, it's like
Texas
the same
toast
thing.
is more like a type of bread. Like
Yeah,
whereas
it's like a
garlic bread is
country-style
garlic
white
bread is
bread.
how the bread is like seasoned. I feel like
It's just garlic butter, right?
So Texas toast is what you get in like Raising Cane's has
A
Texas
barbecue
toast.
restaurant?
Yeah, it's that big fat.
Fat.
Yeah,
I've had
like
garlic
when you make
Texas
French toast with Texas toast. It's
Wait, how?
okay, hold on.
No,
we have
no.
someone. We have someone from Texas.
we have a
What is
Texan.
Yeah.
the difference between Texas toast and garlic bread?
Garlic bread is usually a baguette that's been cut in half and sliced.
Olive oil, garlic, yeah.
Texas toast is just a thick slice of white bread.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes garlic and it's sometimes just like butter and parsley.
Thank you.
Glad I could help.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's great. We had a resident Texan.
But they're both great.
No, I love them both. They're great. Whatever.
Look, when it comes to bread, I'll eat anything.
Oh, yeah.
I think pizza's overrated, so that's...
Hold on. Kimmy just said, you think pizza's overrated?
This is like part of my lore. It's like the third thing on my description on
I only know two.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard this, man.
How do you think it's overrated?
Okay, don't freak out. It's overrated. It's not bad. If I'm at a party, I'm a little drunky, I need some food in my body, they get some pizza, I'll eat a pizza, sure. I'm not someone who's like, what do I want to eat? I want to get some pizza. I don't have that. I don't care about pizza. But everyone's like, I love pizza! And I'm like, all right, child. That's it.
Okay, moving on.